You're listening to the podcast for small business owners, entrepreneurs, and founders who are tired of the client hustle. We believe sustainable business isn't about chasing new leads, it's about keeping the great clients you already have. Let's dive in. I'm going to share that might surprise you based on what I teach around client retention and how to grow your business. Because a lot of what I do teach is old school hands on human interactions, because I believe that we are built for relationship and connection. When I teach retention made simple, I'm often known for saying it doesn't take a ton of tech, time, or money. And so I'm going to share with you a few of the thoughts I have around AI today. And because if we haven't met yet, my name's Sam, and I am the founder of Your Admin Ninja and Retention Made Simple. And we work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders, service providers in a way that allows them to double and triple their revenue without even getting any new clients. And we're able to do that because we install systems into their process that allows them to build in client retention from the very beginning. And not only is that from the very beginning of when the person signs the deal, but when they start to connect with the business, when they see you online on Google, when they check out your website, when they see your social media, when they see something about you out and about, to where that they're making that brand connection. When the brand is what people associate with you when you're not in the room, kind of thing. When they hear retention made simple, what do they think? That is what we're helping to build along the way. And so I'm so glad you're here. And I want to share what we're up to when it comes to AI, because I think so many people right now assume, rightfully so, that we don't do much with AI. And that would be wrong. That would be very wrong. And the reason we've been doing AI stuff for our clients for a while, we just haven't talked about it outwardly because I didn't have a way to make that make sense. Because we're not trying to pitch people to sell them AI services. We're trying to build relationships with people. And when it makes sense, we talk about what we have to offer. And so our onboarding process that we teach, you can almost do all of that through AI connections, through workflows and those kinds of things. Or if you're old school, you can still manually do it through sending an email, a document, whatever you want. You can use a spreadsheet and a calendar. You don't have to use any systems. So I want to keep that clear, that no matter if you don't want to use tech and AI, you don't have to. But almost everything we do, you can use AI for, except for the human touch. And so, one of the things that I think is really beautiful about what we're doing in the small business service provider world right now is we are teaching business owners how to use AI effectively when it matters and how it can transform their business, making space for all the hands-on things, so that when they need to have time and bandwidth to be able to do the hands-on high touch things, they have the ability to do that because they're not behind the scenes in the weeds doing things that AI can do for them. And Monty and I went to a business event last week, and it involved going to a gun range and then a distillery, which is like perfect. And so it was very interesting. I'm probably going to end up joining this networking group. It's not just a networking group. So it's a group of business owners that realize they're people too. And it's not just about referrals. It's about building a business and a life that really sustains what they want to do. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. A conversation came up around AI, and one of the gentlemen sitting a few seats down from me, we're sitting outside at this distillery, and he started talking about Claude Code and Claude Cowork. And I've been looking at those things. Literally, it was on my computer at home. So I've been researching it. And I said, there's one thing that I have been trying to figure out how to do with AI that I just haven't been able to get it to do yet. And this has been one of the things that's been the thorn in my side when it comes to my admin company since 2019. The Based on how my brain works and the things I'm good at, I do client calls with the clients, but then someone else will then take that data from that call and add it to our project board. And I have to pay somebody to watch the video or read the transcript or whatever it is, and then do that. And so I mentioned this last Friday, and the guy was like, "Oh, yeah, you can totally do that. You just do this." And I'm like, and so I got home Friday night and I was typing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I do." And so now it's actually working. And at 5 o'clock Central every day, it goes in, pulls the transcripts that we put the transcripts in a folder. I'm working on automating that part, but we'll get there. But the transcripts, and then it goes in and reads the transcripts and it goes in and adds the tasks to the appropriate person and client in our system. That is an appropriate use of AI to help free up time to have more conversations. Another appropriate use of I believe, is something we've been using internally for my husband's business and for one of my businesses, which is a voice receptionist where somebody calls and they're trying to get some information. They answer the questions as best they can. They can even schedule an appointment on our calendar. But so Sadie's wanting some attention right now. You're going to have to wait. Do you see her? Right there. Point. Lay down, baby. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Sadie. Lay down. And Kurt. I had to make eye contact with her. She wasn't paying attention when I was doing it this way. This is lay down and this is sit. Anyway. Oh, the voice AI thing. It really does. It works and it can book calls on our calendar. But if they need to talk to somebody and they say, I want to speak to someone, it'll try and route them to either his phone or my phone. And if we can answer, we answer. Otherwise, it takes a message. That allows when I'm on a call with the client and my phone is ringing and somebody wants something from me and I'm not able to answer it, it allows them to pick up the slack in that regard. And there's so many businesses out there right now that need help with AI, but they don't even know where to start. And I've mentioned on a couple of things that we have created a local directory here in our community. It's called Wilco Businesses. And everybody that gets a free listing, any business owner in the area that lives or serves the Wilco area can get a free listing on our directory. There's two requirements. One is you have to live or serve in the area. And the second one is you need to have a 4-star or higher review on Google. And the reason we want you to have a 4-star or higher review on Google is because we want to make sure you're doing good business. You're already getting clients and they're giving you good reviews. If for some reason you don't have a Google page and you want to have a directory listing, you can have a call with me or we'll chat somehow and I can personally vet you. If I can personally vet you, even if you don't have a Google page, then we can get that done. The reason I'm telling you this though, is because what we're going to be offering for everybody that has a free listing, we have created a really cool AI assessment tool. And you don't have to live in Wilco to do this. If you're watching on LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, or if you're watching on Spotify or listening to Apple iTunes, whatever, and you want to do this, you just need to send me an email at sam@retentionmadesimple.com and I will make sure you get the information to be able to test this. But it's super cool. We're going to be charging $400 for it. But right now, anybody that hears this and asks me for it to help me test it and do the beta, or if you have a free listing on Wilco Businesses, you get it for free. And we beta tested it with a couple of people recently, just yesterday. One happens to be a person that owns a plumbing company. And they went through, it's just calling the number, answering some questions. and they answered the questions, and they mentioned that they're missing about 80% of the phone calls that come in. Can you imagine a bit like, and that's because they're busy, they're doing the job, they're not sitting there waiting to answer the phone. So having a voice assistant to call that number first, if somebody doesn't answer, it goes to backup, and that's an appropriate use of AI. The second one is a nurse practitioner's office. And it was very interesting because I had a call with her today and we were talking about it. And she's, oh my gosh, it felt so real. It was almost creepy because she was so personable. Our AI's named Ruthie, which is my mom's name is Ruth. So I named, hi mom, named her after you. And so there are appropriate uses of AI. And my goal with Retention Made Simple is to help our business set up whatever level of systems they need to be able to keep their best clients longer and get more referrals. And that starts from the very first moment you make connection with the client, whether it's at a networking group, whether it's a Google thing online, no matter what, the retention starts at the very first connection. And that's why we will be using AI in a lot of the things we do. I am not an AI expert. I am smart enough to know when I need to ask questions and know who to reach out to. We have a pretty good handle on the assessment. It's working really well. So if you want to be able to do the assessment, just let me know. Either email me at sam@retentionmadesimple.com or comment wherever you see this and we'll get in touch. And I would love to have you be able to help me do the beta test because once we get this ironed out, it will be a paid service that we offer either for just one-off clients that just want the assessment. If you are one of our paying clients, obviously you'll get that included at no charge. And anybody in Wellco, this part of the directory, will get it as long as they do it within 14 days of signing up because I want people to actually do it. So then we follow up with an email saying, this is what the assessment showed. And these are the different things that need to be done or could be done. And then you get to decide if you want to implement them or not. You can implement them with our help or on your own. There's no obligation to do anything else. And I'm stinking excited about all this. I remember when I very first started playing with ChatGPT 2.5 years ago. And my dad, I messaged him about it and I got him set up to where he could use ChatGPT. And the next day he's, oh my gosh, I stayed up all night long asking it questions. And it's been really fun watching the progression, how things have changed since then. And right now it's changing so fast. Like it's changing so fast. And I'm really excited to be part of that process because I know for a lot of small business owners, it's hard and it's scary and it's what do I do? Where do I even begin? And so our assessment is a good place to start. Remember, the fastest path to growth isn't always the next new client. It's strengthening your relationships with your current ones. And if you want to be a guest to share your tip or get personalized retention advice, check the show notes for details. Thanks for listening.